Welcome back. This is NetLab 2, installing and configuring an ESXi host. We are in task 1, where we will begin the installation in part C of this video series. I'm Richard Golson, and I'm going to walk you through this process. So I want you to notice that we have the installer queued up. We can see the welcome message here matches up our welcome message here. And this is indicating that I will need to press the Enter key on my keyboard. So to proceed forward, I will be using my keyboard for my primary method for interacting with the installer. And so this is part of the DCUI as well. We'll be using the keyboard. And to do this, in some cases, I will need to ensure that when I use my keyboard, the information is actually going to this console. So to ensure that that happens, I can press the Control G on my keyboard, and what will happen is my cursor or mouse will disappear, and then when I press my Enter key, it'll actually go to this console installer. So I'll go to my keyboard now and press the Control G on my keyboard. It sometimes takes a moment to get that to happen. There it goes. And then it indicates down in the bottom corner here that I need to press Control Alt. If you look in the bottom corner of the screen here, you can see that it says to press Control Alt to release. So I can press the Control Alt or Control Option on a Mac, and that would release the cursor and mouse from the console. So once again, I can press Control G to get it to grab it. I can also click into the console to get it to grab it, but I'll need to press Control Alt to get it to release. So let me go ahead and get it to grab. And you can see now it says it's grabbed because it says press Control Alt to get it to release. So I'll press my return key again, or press my return key to move forward. And now it's saying or indicating that I need to press the F11 to accept and continue, or press escape to not accept. At this point, I'll continue to use my keyboard, so I'll press the F11 key on my keyboard. And now it's scanning for devices. It's looking for that CD, DVD, and everything else. And there is my storage device that it finds. I'll go ahead and accept that, so I'll just press the Enter key. And then you'll see that the language is US default. I could change it to something else, but I'll go ahead and leave that on the default settings. So I'll just press Enter or Return for Macs. And this is where I'll need to use my keyboard to enter a password. And you can see over here that the password is training with a 1 and a $sign at the end. I'm going to create this password. So make sure you enter the password that's indicated here, and I'll be entering it twice. Hit my tab to go to my confirm password and enter it again. Passwords are matched. Hit enter to continue. And then I get a little warning here about virtualization, not a feature of the CPU, or is not enabled in the BIOS. I can just disregard this one. So go ahead and hit enter again. And then for the installation, I'll need to press the F11 key on my keyboard to get the install. And now I can see the installation progressing. This is going to take 3 to 5 minutes to install. So give it the time it needs, and then when it's done, we'll be rebooting the system. I'm going to go ahead and pause this. We'll come back. Okay, here we can see that installation is complete. And it's going to be an evaluation mode. We'll see later on how we can add a license to a server to ensure that it has a license that'll last for more than 60 days. But it's kind of neat. They give you 60 days to evaluate. And at this point, what I want to do is make sure that before I reboot the server, that I remove the installation media That's important so that it doesn't try to boot from that again. So to do that, if we take a look at the instructions over here, I'm going to go to the top menu, the virtual machine menu, and choose virtual machine settings or press Control D. If the console has grabbed your keyboard and mouse, then I'll need to press the release input keystrokes, which is Control Alt. So I'll go ahead and press that now. And I can see my cursor again, and I can come over here to the virtual machine and select the virtual machine settings. And then select the CD/DVD drive and uncheck the connected and connected at power on. With both those unchecked, I'll hit the save button. And then I can click back into this console or press Control G and hit enter to reboot. I'm ready to do that. Now press Control G to release it again. And if you don't find it releases it, just give it time, let it fully load, and then you'll be able to do so. At this point, I want to just monitor the reboot process until this DCUI appears. And once I see this completed and all messages indicating that the install has completed successfully, then I'm ready to proceed with the next steps. I'll go ahead and pause the video and we'll come back. Okay, here we can see that installation of the ESXi hypervisor has completed successfully. I can tell because I'm no longer receiving messages here, and I'm provided with a different message with the IP address that has been dynamically assigned using DHCP. We'll be adjusting that. And we can see up here, it gives me some specifications telling me that how much CPU available I have available to me, and as well as memory and the build number. And looking down here, it also indicates that I can use F2 to customize the system, which I'll do later on, and to view the logs, or you can use F12 to shut down the system. And so at this stage, I'm going to go ahead and close up the recording, and we'll come back and take a look at task 2. We'll actually do the customization and configuration on this ESXi host. I'll see you then.